is assigned to this region. We have two of those that serve strictly as commission chairs for some of our districts that are in fiscal emergency. We lost one last year, something about retiring, wanting to move to Florida, and I couldn't understand that, especially this week. So I've been pressed into service as a commission chair as well, too. We do have one that serves solely as a secretary monitor, and then 9, such as Neil, that provides direct service to districts. Again, everything that starts with our process begins with the 5-year forecast. That is, we have requirements in the revised code and the Ohio Administrative Code, and those forecasts are required to be submitted to our office prior to October 31st of each year. Between April 1st and May 31st, they are required to be updated and sent into our office again. And we do examine those forecasts to determine if a district has a potential to incur any deficits. And just to give you an idea, once we get them in, I compiled a spreadsheet that has every district in the state of Ohio, their forecast for the first 3 years. And if you look through there and you see a lot of red ink, that's never a good sign, as you can imagine. Those are all the districts that are showing deficits in the next couple of years. So when we get the forecast in, what do? We have basically 4 flags. So if the district is showing a current year deficit, or if they're showing a current year low fund balance, they have direct contact from the fiscal consultant. Again, in this case, that would be Neil. They have direct contact. If they're showing a deficit in year 2 or in year 3, they get a letter from our office notifying them that they have a deficit. They already know that, but by law we are required to notify them. And then we do ask them to give us some specific plans, what you're doing, what the district is going to be doing to try to eliminate that deficit before it gets there. East Knox did get a letter this year for year 3, which is fiscal year 13. You're showing a deficit. Okay. I'm getting confused. Okay. Based on that analysis we do, and again, whenever the fiscal consultant will contact the district, most of the time they will come out, and if they're still showing a deficit, they will come out and do the financial analysis that Neil has just gone over with them. So that's kind of standard procedure for us. Based on that analysis is what we use then to declare fiscal caution for districts around the state. We currently have 19 districts in the state of Ohio that are in fiscal caution. It is declared when we determine through the forecast that conditions exist that could cause fiscal watch, or worse yet, fiscal emergency. And a lot of that is based on a percentage. So if you take your percentage of a deficit or at the end of the year and divide it by the revenue stream, or the amount of your operating money that you have, you'll get a percentage. And anytime you get a deficit in the range of 2%, that is where fiscal caution kind of will kick in. So it's a 2% deficit. We also may declare fiscal caution if the auditor of state will report to us that their books are unauditable. That is not the case here at East Knox, but it is in law, so that's why we include it. In fiscal caution, districts are given the opportunity to develop and implement proposals to avoid those deficits without being placed in fiscal caution. And basically that's where we're at right now with East Knox, and that's one reason why we're here. That's one reason why we have done the financial analysis, just to verify the forecast, and that is what we go on. And so we're giving the district some information, giving them the opportunity right now to try to eliminate or implement some proposals to eliminate that deficit. Also, by law, districts cannot request to be placed in fiscal caution to help pass a levy. And interesting, I do get that question about 6-7 times a year. Can you help us out pass this levy? No, I can't do that. Okay, what happens if a district goes into fiscal caution? First of all, within 60 days, the district must present to my office a written proposal that eliminates those conditions, and we call that the financial recovery plan. Also, the auditor of state, the ODE will come out and monitor, so our fiscal consultant will come out on a monthly basis. We monitor the finances of the district. the revenues coming and the expenditures going, and also making sure that they are holding true to what that recovery plan is that they have submitted to us. For example, if they say on there that they're going to eliminate 6 positions for some reason, and we look at their board minutes and find out that they've actually employed 6 people, then that is a violation of the recovery plan, which is one of the reasons they may go into fiscal watch. You can see that at the very bottom, that the last bullet, the auditor of state may place the district in watch if the district fails to, either if they fail to submit an acceptable plan, or if they fail to follow the plan once it has been accepted. And the next step then would be fiscal watch. We have 5 districts currently in fiscal watch. A little bit of difference there is that the auditor of state gets involved. The auditor of state's office is the official, they have the official jurisdiction of declaring fiscal watch or fiscal emergency. What happens, once again, the Board of Education has 60 days to submit a financial recovery plan. And sometimes the difference in that is just a timing effort when you have more opportunity to get through perhaps an election. Another election, if you do pass the levy, then you can include that in your plan. Once again, if you fail to submit, update, or implement the financial recovery plan, the auditor of state can then place the district in fiscal emergency. That's one of the reasons districts go in. Also, the auditor of state will identify some accounting and reporting compliance issues that they will give to the district in writing. The district must address those issues before they are released from fiscal watch. Finally, we get into the third stage, the most severe stage of all. That is fiscal emergency. As you can see, we currently have 10 districts in fiscal emergency, and quite a few things change when we declare fiscal emergency. First of all, it brings in a commission known as the Financial Planning and Supervision Commission. That commission we'll talk about here in a minute, but there are 5 members on it. It requires the commission now that they develop and implement their own financial recovery plan. And every expenditure, again, that the Board of Education does has to be approved by the commission according to their plan. It also does provide the district access to an advance of the state foundation aid through the Solvency Assistance Fund. Is that free money? No, it is not. It is just an advance of the district's own foundation money, which then they will be required to pay back. We'll talk first about the commission, the Financial Planning and Supervision Commission. There are 5 members on it. 2 of them from Columbus, 3 of them that are local. The 2 from Columbus is the State Superintendent of Public Instruction and the Director of the Office of Budget and Management, or their designees. And so far, 100% of the cases that have been their designees. As I said, I have served as that as the designee for the State Superintendent on several occasions. The 3 that are local people, one is a parent with a child enrolled in school. That parent is appointed by the State Superintendent. The next 2 are business people. One is appointed by the governor. It's a business person that lives or works in the district, appointed by the governor. And the other will be appointed by a mayor or the county auditor, depending on where the majority of your residents live. If 51% of them live in a township area, then the county auditor has that appointment. If you have one municipality that has 51% or more of the residents in it, such as a city, Youngstown City comes to mind, they are in the emergency, the mayor will have that appointment. In this case, I believe it would be the county auditor. The commission is appointed and has their first meeting within 15 days after the auditor of state has declared fiscal emergency. The superintendent of public instruction or her designee is by law will serve as the chairperson, and the commission has 120 days to complete their plan. And they do a lot of work with the Board of Education and with the administration. Normally they would just give them a number and say, here, find X number of reductions to come up with. If you're $2 million in deficit at the end of a year, for example, that would be the number, probably, $2 million. Commission also receives our legal representation from the Ohio Attorney General's office. They receive financial advice from the Ohio Auditor of State's office. What are some of the